I wasted 1500 bucks so that you don't have to. If you've been seeing ads for the GoEasify sling, wait before you hit buy now. I'm taking you down a rabbit hole of what looks like a classic rip-off scheme rather than the premium product they are promising. I'm not here to bash a brand for the sake of it. I'm here to bridge the gap between their marketing and the actual product in my hand, so you can decide if it's worth your hard-earned money. You're watching Carry District, your one-stop destination for all things carry. I'm Vineet. Let's get started. The Inateck copy-paste. Some perspective before we start. This bag is a direct replica of the Inateck Sling Bag. The original Inateck is known for being a high-value pick under $50 abroad. Knowing that original standard is key to understanding where this GoEasify version stands. Red flags. What you see is not what you get. When you visit the site, you're greeted with these professional marketing shots. But if you look closely, what's being advertised isn't exactly what's being delivered. The hardware discrepancy. When you visit the site, the image that you're greeted with of the product is this. Pay close attention towards the lower left side. There's a buckle adjustment system here. This is called the quick adjustment pressure buckle when you check the Inateck site. But there is no such system on this bag. The spec confusion. The consistency is also a bit worrying. One image claims the bag weighs 360 grams. The very next says 250 grams. They also list the material as 900D polyester in one section, but scroll down and it's suddenly Oxford cloth. In hand, the material feels cheap, certainly not the heavy-duty 900D density you'd expect for this price. Zippers and pullers. They also claim to use YKK zippers, which are the gold standard for durability. However, these feel like generic local zippers. They aren't smooth and don't have that signature YKK reliability. The pullers are also cheap silicone ones and feel very tacky. Even the key leash shown in the photos is a detachable type, while the one in the actual bag is a fixed, cheaper version. The Inateck evidence. Perhaps the biggest giveaway is right here. If you zoom into this product image, you can clearly see the Inateck brand name. They are using the original manufacturer's high-end photos to sell a version that swaps out the premium components. Conflicting features. They mention Duraflex buckles, a very reputable hardware brand, but then list a magnetic snap. It feels like a collection of buzzwords rather than an accurate description of the product you actually get. The return trap. Let's look at the return and refund policy, which feels designed to make you give up before you even start. The shrinking window. Consistency is an issue here too. At the top of their page, they promise a 7-day return window, but scroll down to the fine print and that suddenly drops to 5 days. It's a small detail, but it's the first hurdle if you are unhappy with the product. The cost of returning. They also make the return process remarkably difficult. To get a full refund, you have to ship the bag back to them at your own expense. If you don't want to deal with the courier hassle, your only other option is to accept a partial refund, where they keep 40% of your money and only give back 60%. It feels less like a customer service policy and more like a strategy to discourage you from actually returning a product that didn't live up to the website's photos. Build quality and materials. When you move past the photos and actually handle the bag, you are more disappointed. The inner lining. The internal fabric is thin, so much so that it's almost translucent. You can practically see the silhouette of your hand through it. Stitching and finishing. The finishing is where the 1500 price tag feels most unjustified. The stitching is uneven and the overall construction lacks the precision you'd expect from a 1500 rupees bag. Substandard mesh. Even the internal mesh pockets feel cheap to the touch. It doesn't feel like it's built to survive daily wear and tear. Performance on the go. The bottle trick. You've likely seen the ad showing a sleeve for a bottle or umbrella. In reality, it's a bit of a party trick. Once you put a bottle in there, it eats up most of the usable space in the front and back compartments. It also makes the bag sit awkwardly against your body, making it uncomfortable to walk with. Capacity versus comfort. This bag has plenty of space, which is its biggest asset. But if you're used to smaller slings, this will feel massive. When fully loaded, wearing it on the front feels heavy and bulky. You're forced to wear it on your back just to make the weight manageable. The dangle problem. There is absolutely no dangle management for the strap. You are left with a long, excess tail of webbing hanging off you, which looks messy. Flimsy pullers. Even the silicone zipper pullers are frustrating. They constantly loosen up, and I found myself having to retighten them frequently. So, what should you actually buy for your 1500 bucks? If the integrated bottle holder was the main reason you were looking at this bag, I'd suggest checking out the Arctic Hunter. They offer a similar form factor and feature set, but their material quality and construction are significantly better than what you're getting here. On the other hand, if it's the large capacity that appeals to you, you might want to consider a sling instead of this crossbody format. At this size, a bag needs proper ergonomics to stay comfortable when heavy. Again, the Arctic Hunter has many solid options, or any brand that you prefer. The bottom line, don't let the ads fool you. You can find much better value, better hardware, and a much fairer return policy elsewhere. My advice, pick almost anything other than the GoEasify sling. If you found this deep dive helpful, hit that like button and subscribe to Carry District for more reviews on gear that move with you. I'm Vineet, and until next time, carry smart.